K-1 visas. Families are being separated and they just can't wait any longer. So in this video, I'm going to give you the latest K-1 visa litigation update and what you can do now to speed up your case. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Let's talk about K-1 visa litigation. I think this is, for me, the most important subject right now, in addition to, of course, the CR1s and all the other family categories. But in my mind, K-1 visas have been impacted the most by the proclamations and the whole crisis that we have in immigration since the whole pandemic started. So I've been trying to provide updates whenever they come out, and in this video, I'll talk about the status of litigation right now, what you can do if you are a plaintiff in that litigation, if you're not a plaintiff in the litigation, and what the future for K-1 visas is going to be. So stick to the end. I'm going to cover all this in this video. So my name is Jacob Sapochnik, and thank you for joining my channel. This is where we talk about all immigration, updates, news, and educating you so I can give you the power of knowledge to know everything you need about your immigration case. So let's dive right in. If you remember last week, I've done a live video giving you the most recent update about the status of Milligan versus Pompeo, the K-1 visa litigation. You can watch that video right here, just to give you a reminder. But what happened is that a federal judge of the District of Columbia essentially enjoined the government from stopping to issue K-1 visas to families that are in the Schengen region. In this case, the federal judge of the District of Columbia essentially enjoined the government from suspending K-1 visas for the named plaintiffs in the Milligan versus Pompeo case. Specifically, it refers to the proclamation that bars the entry of immigrants from the Schengen countries, from the Republic of China, from Iran, Brazil, United Kingdom, and Ireland. So essentially, the embassies were using that as an excuse not to give them visas because they said, you're not able to come to the United States unless you quarantine somewhere for 14 days. Well, the judge said those plaintiffs that are named in this lawsuit should be able to get their visas now, and not the embassy should not be using this as an excuse not to issue visas. So that was kind of the gist of it. What the judge didn't do in this case, they didn't clearly state that delays were unreasonable, and we're hoping in the next few weeks to get some more guidance from the government to see what they're going to be doing about it. But the key element of this particular case was that this particular proclamation that the embassies were using that as an excuse not to issue those visas. Now, so we talked about that already in that previous video, but what happened a few days ago, as a result of that litigation, the State Department updated its website, and they have specific guidance for plaintiffs in that case, and also non-plaintiff, people that are not from that region. They're essentially just families that are stuck waiting for their K-1 visas to be adjudicated. So they issued that guidance, and I wanted to show it to you right now. Maybe we can read a section from this guidance just to explain to you what it means for you and what steps you should be taking now. This guidance was issued by the State Department. So let's take a look at it for a second. We talked about the first part, but what is important for you guys to understand right now, new information, is that it says the following: K-1 visa applicants who are named plaintiffs in Milligan versus Pompeo and subject to a regional proclamation should contact their nearest embassy or consulate for guidance on scheduling a visa interview. What this means is that if you're a named plaintiff, and I know there's quite a few of you out there, and I've spoken to many of you directly through emails, and we had consultations. If you're a named plaintiff in this case, you should email your consulate, attach a copy of the complaint. Once again, there's a link in the description of this video for the actual complaint, and also in the other video that we linked before, the live video that I've done, I've also linked the actual complaint. Go there, download the complaint, email your consulate, and request them to schedule an interview as soon as possible. So I heard from quite a few couples that already tried that, and they are starting to get their interview scheduled. Now, if you try that and they refuse to do so, make sure that you email me, let me know, and we'll try to see what we can do to help. Now let's go into the State Department notice again and see what happens to applicants that are not plaintiffs in this litigation. K-visa applicants who are not plaintiffs in Milligan versus Pompeo and who are not subject to COVID-related regional proclamations will continue to have their applications prioritized and processed in accordance with existing phased resumption of visa services guidance. This is a very vague statement, as expected. So what I suggest to people that are not plaintiffs, still contact the embassy. You can still contact the embassy. I'm doing this for our clients. You can still do this. Download a copy of this complaint and still try to see if you can request an appointment and see what they say. Some embassies may be open to do so as they slowly start resuming their appointments. But in any case, we do believe that people that are not plaintiffs are not going to get priority at the moment. Embassies are still overwhelmed. They still have a backlog. MVC is still kind of holding off on some of these cases. So once again, the only solution we see right now is to try to expedite your K-1 visa based on the national interest exceptions. And we've done quite a few of those expedited. We've done quite a few videos describing some of our cases that we've done. And we've written about that in our blog. And we're going to link in this description of this video a few of the success stories just so you can see what they look like and see if it applies to your case. But once again, if you're not a plaintiff, I still believe the best way would be to try to expedite your case using some of those exceptions. And if you want to try that, you're welcome to contact our office. There is a link in the video here that explains how to do so. That's the situation right now. If you're a plaintiff in the Milligan versus Pompeo, you need to immediately email the embassy, attach a copy of the complaint, and request your visa interview as soon as possible. If you're not a plaintiff, you still should contact the embassy and see what they say, inquire about your case and see if you can get an appointment. And if not, you should try to get the expedited appointment. There's a special process for that. And like I said, we've done many of those, and we continue to work with so many embassies all over the world to help our clients. The goal is for families to be reunited. There's no reason in the world why these cases should take months and months and why families should remain separated. So once again, hopefully this information was useful. Let me know in the comments below. As soon as we have news about more embassies reopening, about any other litigation, I'll be first to report it right here. We'll go live or we'll do a video. Once again, I'm committed to making these videos every single week to keep you informed because I know a lot of you are anxious and I'm here for you. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, we're almost done. Make sure you watch this video where we have the live immigration litigation update on K-1 visas. Make sure you see that one and don't miss it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.